Google just launched Antigravity, their new AI coding IDE that's free during preview, together with their new Gemini 3 Pro model that seems to outperform the bunch across a number of benchmarks. But this is not yet another "this changes everything" video. I've spent the last 24 hours testing this intensely, most of my awake time pushing it hard, hitting quota limits, dealing with errors, almost frying my Mac. There's a lot of good and a lot of potential, but there's also a lot of issues and frustration. So let me take you through my honest, hands-on experience and everything you need to know about anti-gravity to get started. The good, but also the bad and the ugly. Let's go. Hey, Alex here from Grit AI Studio. Let's just cut straight to the key takeaways. Here's my honest, no BS take. It's got a lot of similarities to Cursor and other AI coding tools, but it also brings some genuinely different and refreshing takes on the future of agent orchestration with their agent manager and the use of artifacts. My feeling is that this actually works for communicating progress and involving the user when needed. The model is really powerful, yet I hit the quota limit several times and frequently hit the wall with model provider overload. It's frustrating, but I guess it's to be expected in the first 24 hours when everyone is testing. The output quality surprised me in a very positive way. Not your regular front-end AI slop. It's like this model brings taste to a whole new level. Google promises autonomous agents that work while you sleep, but the reality in the first 24 hours was far from it. What I got was constantly typing in "try again" and "continue" because of model overload errors. The vision is seamless orchestration. The reality is babysitting. For now. But I do see a lot of potential once we get past the initial bugs and hiccups, hopefully in the next few weeks. So today I'm showing you what actually happens after 24 hours of real use, not just a demo walkthrough. What works, what's broken, and whether it's worth dealing with the frustration. Let's jump in. So let's start with what this actually is. Google released Antigravity alongside Gemini 3, their latest AI model that's topping most benchmarks. It's free during public preview for Mac, Windows, and Linux. The great thing is that you can use Gemini 3 Pro, Claude Sonnet 4.5, or even OpenAI's GPT-OSS. Now, you're probably seeing a lot of videos about this right now. Most are reacting to the announcement or showing quick demos. Initial reactions have been overly positive, and people are showing off some really cool stuff that they're building. Here's what's interesting about Google's positioning. The person leading Antigravity is Varun Mohan, the former CEO of Windsurf. OpenAI was buying Windsurf for over $3 billion, and that deal fell through. Google swooped in, acquired the core team for $2.4 billion back in July. Now, just 4 months later, Antigravity ships. So this isn't just Google building a Cursor clone. This is the Windsurf team with Google DeepMind resources launching what might be Windsurf 2.0. The week before Google launched Antigravity, they invested in Cursor's $2.3 billion funding round. They're literally funding their biggest competitor while building a free alternative. By investing in Cursor, Google ensures Gemini stays integrated in the market leader. Cursor has over $1 billion in annual revenue and millions of developers. But with Antigravity, Google captures developers who prefer first-party tools and maintains their own ecosystem. And as developers, we benefit from the competition. Cursor has to stay sharp, Antigravity has to innovate. Everyone has to keep shipping. So what makes Antigravity different? The way I see it, 3 things. The artifact system, the agent manager architecture, and native browser testing. The last one we also got in Cursor recently, but Antigravity takes it to the next level. Okay, and let me add one more thing that I really believe in, but we won't really see the effects of until we've used it over time, and that's the persistent memory system. This seems different than other memory systems, and it plays nicely into the concept of compounding engineering coined by the Every team. In essence, it automatically captures and organizes important insights, patterns, and solutions from your coding sessions. They help you build upon previous work across conversations, compounding over time. More on that in a future video once I've gotten some real proof. Okay, let me show you what all of this actually means in practice. Let's jump straight in, download and install. We can import our settings from Cursor. We have some choices with the Antigravity agent. Agent-driven or agent-assisted. Okay, I'll go with agent-assisted for now. We can change this later. We'll go with auto here. Okay. Sign in with Google. And there we go. Pretty familiar feeling to Visual Studio Code and Cursor, obviously, since it was built on top, as most are these days. Okay, let's take it for a spin. We got our agent over here, model picker and mode picker, and over here, the familiar IDE features that we're used to. We can also get access to the open VSX marketplace for extensions. I haven't tested this, but I hear that it can be a bit buggy. Okay, let's open the fun part, the agent manager. Here we can operate with multiple workspaces, which is very cool. We can also run multiple agents at the same time in multiple workspaces. Hit Command E to switch between the agent manager and the editor view. So let's try this out. Create a new workspace. Just run this prompt. Let's build a physics-based game. Tower of Wobble. Okay, let's add some requirements here. Keep it simple for visuals. Use Matter.js. Okay, let's try it. The agent gets to work and we see the first artifact here, a plan and a task list. No need to put too much thought into this one, but here we could add comments directly in the plan and the task list. We have not turned on full YOLO mode, so it will ask for permissions at certain times. Okay. So now we can see that it wants to verify that what it has built by testing the gameplay in the browser. On first run, we'll add this browser extension, and that should work. It uses a separate Chrome profile for this. Antigravity has Chrome built directly into the workflow, not through MCP tools or external servers, but native integration. And there we have our game. It's working. Okay, you see this blue border on the screen? This is actually the agent using the browser. Agent clicks and even takes a screen recording as evidence. And it can take screenshots. That's pretty cool. When the agent completes its task, it will make use of another artifact called walkthrough to recap what is done and also present us with its verification steps and any screenshots or recordings. That's a whole new agent user interaction mode that we've not seen before. And I quite like that. Not everything works on first try. And I did hit errors quite a few times, but eventually it manages to solve things if you just give it some time. The inbox mode is very convenient when you run multiple tasks across multiple workspaces. It will trigger user interaction when needed and give you sort of a mission control overview. Once we get past the issues, I think this will become a really powerful mode to operate in. But Google is building for a future where agents work for hours without supervision. And it's my dream as well. Agents that work while you sleep. Session recordings that prove they tested their own work, and you can review it over your morning coffee. Whether that future is in 3 months or a year from now, Antigravity is at least designed for that future. Let's try something a bit crazy. I'll ask for a lo-fi beat sequencer with a simple interface. See what it comes up with there. Okay, once it's done, we get the walkthrough and verification. Looking good? Let's try it ourselves. Okay, it works. Yeah, I'm definitely not a musician, but it works. Pretty cool with a single prompt. Let's run a final test. Make use of some planning mode. Give it an API to the Norwegian police and see if we can build a dashboard. I'll just provide a little bit of guidance here. Okay, so we see there's some course issues. Yeah, but it managed to solve that and spin it up with a node server. Oh, and one more thing as a bonus. Antigravity has Google's Nano Banana image model built directly in. The agent can generate UI mockups, you comment on which design you prefer, then it implements that design and generates the actual image assets, logos, icons, and illustrations. So let's quickly test the Nano Banana integration. We'll just ask the agent to generate a logo for this police app. Okay, that's pretty cool. I was not very specific, so let's ask for a fav icon. Yeah, that's very nice. You can, of course, use this power in your app designs as well. Generate those stock images and content. That's a big improvement to workflow. So now the agent implements the chosen logo, generates the actual assets, adds it to the app. And there we go! A live dashboard with Norwegian police incidents. Pretty cool. Now let me show you what 24 hours of intensive testing actually looks like. This. I saw this message over and over. Rate limit exceeded and model provider overload. On the rate limit, Google says a very small fraction of power users will hit limits. Well, I hit them way before that 5-hour window. It's frustrating, but yeah, it's free and it's the first 24 hours. Model provider overload, please try again. Well, this one is, I guess, fair enough. It's launch day, everyone's testing it, but here's the problem. I spent hours typing in try again and continue to just resume tasks. And it's really, really frustrating. It just sort of ruins the experience. Google promises autonomous agents that work while you sleep, seamless orchestration. The reality so far, babysitting, constantly intervening, manually resuming tasks. And that's the opposite of what Antigravity is supposed to be. Sometimes it even deleted the conversation mid-task. No warning, no recovery option, just dead, which is obviously not acceptable. When this happens, you lose all context and you start over from scratch. So this didn't happen a lot, but it did happen a few times. A lot of people on X reported issues of not being able to get in, but I think that's sorted out now. And then one last little thing, the battery drain is real. This crushes the MacBook battery. That glow effect and constant model calls makes it tough for mobile work, essentially. And I'm not sure what's going on, but there seems to be some memory issues here when you really push the limits and run multiple agents. I mean, just look at this. So I get it. This is a preview. Launch day chaos, model capacity issues. But what really frustrates me is that this vision is really beautiful. Long horizon tasks, autonomous agents, seamless orchestration is what we really want. But when you then end up typing in try again or continue every 5 minutes, you're not experiencing that vision. You're just waiting and restarting, and it's really frustrating. So hopefully we'll get all of that sorted out very soon. The artifacts are great when they work, the browser testing is powerful when it completes, and the output quality is genuinely better than regular AI slop. But right now, the experience is a bit great idea, error, try again, great idea, overload, continue, great idea, and then it dies. So start over. Okay, it just doesn't really feel ready. Maybe they should have waited a few more weeks, ironing out the last few issues. That being said, I see the potential. If Google can stabilize this, fix the quota issues, improve model capacity, stop threads from dying, the core ideas are really compelling. Here's what's genuinely good. The output quality is not AI slop. I don't know how else to say this, but the taste of Gemini 3 is a whole new level. The code it generates feels considered, but I need to test it more on larger code bases as well. For my test projects at least, the architectural decisions, they make sense. The variable names aren't generic. It's like the difference between a junior developer and someone who's actually thought about the problem. The artifacts approach, I really like. This actually works. Having the agent communicate through implementation plans, screenshots, and browser recordings, I think this is the right level of abstraction for building trust. And it's a brilliant way for us to provide feedback in the process. And when it works smoothly, when you're not fighting quota limits or model overload, the experience is really compelling. The agent plans, builds, tests itself, shows you the proof. And that's really the vision here. So let's be honest, Antigravity is genuinely different. The agent manager, artifacts, browser testing, Nano Banana, these are real differentiators, not just marketing claims. But novel UX doesn't guarantee productivity. The artifacts, they add transparency, but they also add cognitive load. Am I reviewing 5 artifact types faster than just reading code diffs? Depends. After 24 hours, I'm still not sure. It's not yet killing Cursor or Claude Code, that's at least for sure. The planning mode ensures the agent understands requirements, but it adds friction for quick fixes. Sometimes you just want to change a button color, and the planning ceremony feels like overkill, even when you switch over to fast mode. The multi-agent workflow sounds amazing in theory, but due to all the limits and overload, I haven't really been able to properly test this out. Different doesn't automatically mean better. It depends on how you work and whether Google can stabilize this enough to actually deliver on the autonomous agent vision. Fingers crossed. So one last little comment on something that I find quite interesting with the strategy of Google. They could have locked anti-gravity to Gemini models only, force you into their ecosystem. Instead, they support Claude Sonnet 4.5 and OpenAI's GPT OSS from day one. And we also saw that they had early release partners for their new model. So now you can use the new model in Cursor and a lot of other tools as well. Google is so confident in the agent manager and artifacts approach that they're letting you use competitor models. They're competing on UX and developer experience, not locking you into their ecosystem. And the free tier, 50 Gemini 3 Pro requests every 5 hours. When it's not overloaded, that's legitimately the best deal in AI coding right now. And of course, you can just combine it with Cursor and Claude Code as well. Just run multiple windows. If you need stability for production work, Cursor and Claude Code, they're safer right now. If you want browser self-testing and session recordings, Antigravity is unique. If you need babysitting free autonomous agents, I don't think either options is really there yet, but Antigravity is architected for that future. If you want free Gemini 3 Pro access and can tolerate preview quality issues, Antigravity wins. And it has been confirmed that we will be able to start in Studio and continue in Antigravity. It's not really about which is better, it's which fits your workflow and your tolerance for frustration, at least now in the early days. After 24 hours, I see the potential, the output quality is real, the ideas are compelling, but the execution needs work. I'm optimistic that Google will stabilize this. If you're deep in the Cursor ecosystem, paying $20 per month and needs stable tools for production work, Antigravity isn't ready to replace that yet. But try it if, one, you want to see where AI coding is headed, the agent manager, artifacts, browser testing. These ideas are compelling even if execution is a bit rough. This is Google's vision for the future of development. And two, you're curious about output quality that's not AI slop, Gemini 3's taste is genuinely a level up. The code feels considered, not generic. It's worth experiencing even with the teething issues. You want free Gemini 3 Pro access? Well then, number 3, 50 requests every 5 hours when it's not overloaded. That's the best deal you get in AI coding right now, if you can tolerate preview quality. And 4, you don't trust agents and want verification. The artifacts, implementation plans, screenshots, browser recordings, they're genuinely helpful and they help you build confidence in what the agent has actually done. The 5th reason, okay, you're patient and can tolerate frustration because you will type try again or continue a lot. You will hit quota limits if you're at least using it to its full extent, and you will deal with model overload, at least now in the first early days. You will have some threads that die, but apart from that, I think we'll get through that and it'll be fixed soon, and you'll see glimpses of something completely different. And right now, I guess that's worth experiencing for all of you. Just set your expectations correctly. This is not production ready, this is not stable, this is not going to replace your current workflow tomorrow. This doesn't change everything yet. This is a preview of where agent-first development might go. This is different enough to be interesting, and this is worth playing with if you're curious about the future. And there you have it, my experience with Google Antigravity after 24 hours of intensive testing. Building some simple and some advanced projects, hitting every error and pushing the limits. If you try it out, and I think you should if you're curious about where this is going, tell me, does the output really feel different to you? Is Gemini 3's taste actually better? Do the artifacts make you trust the agent more? Or are they just extra work? How often do you hit the quota limits or model overloads? Is it just launch week chaos, or is this a persistent problem? Let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious how this lands for different types of developers after they've actually used it for real work. If you want honest takes on AI coding tools as they evolve, not just announcement reactions, but real testing over time, subscribe to our channel. There's a link to downloading Antigravity in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.